Good morning, children. Now I am going to take a supplementary lesson for 10th standard. It is a day in 2889, that is by an American journalist. Journalist, you know very well that those who are in charges of the newspapers. So it's an imaginary fiction. In 1889, he has written this. So he is thinking about the technology has developed a lot. So it is in advanced state. Just is thinking over how after 1000 years, then how the world will be. Up to his imagination, he has written an essay in his famous book. As per his concern, in the future, there is no earth. So the people are living in some other fairyland and everything under the control of them. What are the planets we said? Sun, moon, star, everything under the control of human being. This is the main lesson. So already we have seen one lesson, that is tech blooms. The unit 4 we have seen tech blooms. It's about technology, how it has improved, how it is very helpful boon for the disabled person we have seen. And next we have seen how the machines are made. Though the technology has developed, the machines are made, everything. Machines are doing lot of work, but everything under the control of human being. And this is about the same like only. How it is. So instead of people living on the earth, they are living in some other place. How it will be? This is the lesson. So let us go to the thing. A day in 2889 by an American journalist. Here, who is the main person of the story? What are the characters in the story we'll see. The main persons only. There is no machines, there is no newspapers. Newspapers, the words are typed in that we have to read. No, not like that. The newspapers are directly talking to us. Instead of reading, we have to listen. Now we are getting the news on the TVs. Like that, newspapers will be directly spoken, speak to the persons. This is the theme in the future it will be. Whether it is possible or not, we don't know. This is the thing. Everything, even we have to dress up by ourselves only. Not like that. If you stand in front of a machine, the machine will make you. The machine will dress you up, whatever the situation may be. If you say the situation, according to the situation, it will dress up you. Suppose you want to go for an interview, according to that. If you are going for marriage, like that. So, let us see how it is. What are the characters? So, what are the characters here? The main characters, the Francis Bennetts. He is the editor of the particular magazine. And he is the colleague. Cash is the astronomical reporter of the magazine. And third person is a young person, fellow scientist. That is, they are dealing with the heavenly bodies. It's an imaginary story only. So let me see. How it is possible, we don't know. So this has happened on 25th July. So 2089, when this has happened on 25th July. 2889. So he is imagining like this. Actually, when he has written the story, when he has written the thing, that is, he is a managing editor of Earth Herald. What's the magazine? Earth Herald. It is the newspaper. So, he has written the futuristic story in 1889, what will happen after 1000 years because of the advancement of technology? The newspaper are not printed but spoken. Main point is newspapers, they are spoken. I write the important points. What are the technology advancement? Newspapers, spoken. Is it possible? Now, how we are reading how we are hearing the news on the TV like that? Here, instead of persons talking, here who is talking with us? Newspaper is spoken with us. Francis Bennett, double T. In morning he got up. That is, his wife was not with him 8 days away. She is in some other place. The wife had been in France. Francis, and second character is Mrs. Francis. Where is she now? She is in France. She had been in France and he was feeling a little lonely. Who was feeling lonely? Francis, because his wife was not with him. She is in France for the past 8 days. As soon as he awoke, Francis Bennett switched on his telephone. Second one is telephone. It is like our IMO call. We can see the persons directly and we can talk. This is other advancement. He is using the telephone and the wires are connected. He got his wound in his Champs-Élysées. So where is his house? His wife is in France. He is in, France is in Champs-Élysées. Champs-Élysées. Okay, is the telephone completed by the telephone is another hour time questions. Though the transmission of the speech by electric current, everything, there is no current, everything by electric current only. All the communication by electric current. So a valuable discovery. Electric current is a valuable discovery. The messages are transmitted. Transmitted means what? Passed over from one person to other person. He is just making up. Press the button and immediately he saw his wife appear in the telephotic mirror. So first one is what I said. Newspaper spoken to us. Second one is photo-telephotic. That is that photo-telephotic mirror. She appears. So she addressed him. His name spoken by the sweet voice gave a happier turn to Francis. He quickly jumped out of the bed and went into his mechanized dressing room. So dressing room event, not like our dressing room. In our dressing room we have to go and see. Dressing table will be there and the dressing table we can see other things and what are the makeup things. But here not like that. If you go to the dressing room, it will make you to dress up. You no need to dress yourself. The machine will make you to dress up. 2 minutes later, without needing the help of valet, the machine deposited, that is, decorated him, washed, saved, shod, dressed and buttoned from top to toe. This is second advancement. The machine dressed a person. The shaving, washing, everything did by the machine only. Even if they put the dress and top to bottom, the buttons were tied up by the machine only. The day's work was going to begin. He started. He spoke with his wife, dressed himself. That is, he dressed himself by the, he was dressed by the machine and he was ready to the day's work. He has to go for the work. Francis Bennett went on into the reporter's room. How many reporters there? 1500 reporters. 1500 reporters. They are not the persons like us. They are the machines. 1500 reporters. Please, before an equal number of telephones were passing on to the subscribers the news which had come in during the night from the 4 quarters of the earth. So they are going on communicating the news. So instead of reading the newspaper, they are going on that machines, they are going on communicating the news. The machines are speaking to the persons from all the four quarters. All the four quarters means what? What are the four directions? North, east, south, west, like that. Thus the subscribers are not only the story but the site of these events. So they can see the story and they can see the events, how it is past. Francis Bannett question, one of 10 astronomical reporters. So this is totally, so astronomical reporters, those who are studying about the heavenly bodies. How many astronomical reporters there? 10 astronomical reporters. Yeah, he asked one of the astronomical reporter, a service which was growing because of the recent discoveries in stellar world. His name is Cash. Cash is the astronomical reporter. He is a third person. Cash, what you have got? So what you have got means what message you got, then what heavenly body you have studied about. And he said, photo telegrams from Mercury. So other advancement is photo telegrams he got from Mercury. Mercury is one of the planets. Okay, he got the message from Mercury planet. Mercury, Venus and Mars. 3 planets. He got the messages from Mercury, Venus and Mars. So he said, interesting, what about Jupiter? Jupiter is the other planet. Nothing so far. We have not been able to understand the signals of Javian's make. Perhaps ours have not reached them. What he said? There is no message from the Venus. So maybe our messages are not reached them. Then are not you getting some result from the moon at any rate? Then he is asking, okay, we are not getting any message from the Jupiter. Have you got any news from the moon? Who asked? Francis asked the astronomical reporter Cash, is there any news from the moon? Not yet, he said, not yet. Well, this time you cannot blame official science. The moon is 600 times nearer than Mars. So what he is asking, when you are getting message from the Mars, the moon is very nearby, Mars is very far away. That is, suppose if moon is in 10 means, 600 times, 10 kilometers circumference moon, Mars is how many meters? 600 times more. So even you are getting message from the Mars, why can't you get the message from moon, he asked. Then immediately what Cash said, no, it is the inhabitants. Corley replied. He simply said, there is no inhabitants. Inhabitants means what? No people living in the moon. So he is getting shocked. Who is getting shocked? Francis is getting shocked. He asked, you dare tell me that moon is uninhabited. Uninhabited means the people are not residing. Clear? Uninhabited. No residents. Residents, the people. Residence is the place. On the face it turns towards us at any rate. Who knows whether on the other side? He said moon is not facing us. If it is facing us, we can see whether the people are there or not. Moon is not facing us. It is in the other direction. Who said? Cash said. And that is to turn the moon round. What he said immediately? Francis said, okay, in that case, moon is facing towards the east means turn the moon towards the north, south, north, some other direction. He said like that, turn the moon towards us. So, moon அந்த பக்கம் இருக்குன்னு சொன்னா நம்மள பார்த்து திருப்பி விடு அப்படினு சொல்றாரு. Is it possible to turn the moon? But it is scientific thing, I said. And that very day, the scientists of the Bannett started working out some mechanical means of turning our satellite right around. So they started that all the 10 astronomical reporters, they worked on and turned the moon towards the office. On the whole, Francis Bannett had reason to be satisfied. Now he got the reason. One of the Herald's astronomers have just determined the elements of the new planet Gandhini. So the 10 astronomer planets I said, no, they found a new planet. Already we got Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Mars. So they found a new planet. The planet name is Gandhini. This is a new planet. It is at the distance of 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 12 crores more than that. And meters and 7 decimeter. And this planet describes its orbit round the sun in 572 years. This Gandhini planet, it wants round the sun means how many years it has taken? 572 years to round the sun once. Francis Bennett was delighted with such a precision. He exclaimed, "Good, hurry up and tell the reportees service about it. You know that a passion for the public for this astronomical question. I am anxious for the news to appear in the today's issue." What is it? They are finding out the new planet. You know, what's the planet name? Gandhini. We have to publish this today itself. Publish means what? Present in the paper today itself. The next room, a broad gallery about a quarter of a mile long. So next room what? Gallery is there. How many it is? Half a mile long. 1 mile. And I don't know how many kilometers it is long. Was devoted to publicity, and it well may be imagined with the publicity for such a journal as the Earth Herald has to be. What's the name I said? Earth Herald. So it has to touch, it has got the touch with the people. So gallery is there. How many miles it is? 1 mile. So it brought in the daily average of $3 million. So one day, how much of income they got? 3 million. They got the income $3 million. They are gigantic signs reflected on the clouds, so large that they can be seen all over a whole country. The whole country can see the new planet Gandhini. All that moment, the clock struck 12. Now, what's the time now? 12 o'clock. It is the time for the dining, lunch. The director of the Earth Herald, who is the director of the Earth Herald? Francis Bennett. He left the chair and went to the dining room. Here, the dining room is half mile away from the gallery. Gallery is 1 mile. From there, half mile, they went to the dining room at the far end of the office. The table was laid and took his place as it. The table was there. Within reach of his hand was placed a series of taps, and before him was the curved surface of the phono telephone, and was appeared the dining room of his home in Paris. So even the dining time also, he used to take the lunch with his wife. He is in wife is in France and he is in other country. Both are connected by the photoreceptors. Mrs. and Mr. Bennett are arranged to have a lunch at the same time. They are taking lunch also what? At the same time only. Nothing could be more pleasant than to be face to face in spite of the distance. Though they are in the long distances, they are both in the corners. They always, even the lunch time, working time, all the time, they used to see each other. This is one of the advancement of technology. Like everybody else in the easy circumstances, Francis Bennett have abundant domestic cooking. That is one of the subscriber to the society for supplying the food to the home. Everything by machine only, you don't need to do any work at all. If you sit in front of the machine, machine will do all the work for you. Which distribute the dishes of 1,000 types. So how many types there? 1,000 type of dishes is in between. When he had finished his lunch, he went across the window where his aero car was waiting. After the lunch, he went outside. So generally we used to go by car, bike, auto like that. He used to go by the aero car. Instead of aeroplane, what is the other advancement? Aero car is the other advancement. I'll write here. Like aeroplane it is. Where are you going, sir? Asked the aero coachman. There was a coachman. Let us say, I have got time. He said, take me to my accumulator who works at Niagara. Now he is going to Niagara. So where he is going now? Francis is going to Niagara in the aero car. Arrow car shot across the space at a speed about 400 miles an hour. So what's the speed of it? 1 hour it goes to 400 miles. Below him were spread out of the towns with their moving pavements which carry the warfares along the streets and the countryside. Is flying above and the down, that is the thing, bridge, under the bridge we used to see, Suppose sometime we are going by the bus or bike, whatever it may be, we are above the bridge. Under the bridge we can see the people and everybody, the same like he is watching everything. Within half an hour, Francis reached the works at Niagara, where after using the force of the cataracts to produce the energy, he sold or hired it out to the consumer. Once you produce the product, he has to sold to the consumers. Consumer means those who are getting from him. So he is doing both the works. He is the chief editor of the what magazine I said, Earth Herald. Apart from this, he is doing the business also. Okay, so where all he got the business? Philadelphia, Boston, and New York. The waiting room of the Earth Herald was crowded. After he completed all the work, he came to the thing. A careful lookout was being kept for Francis Bannett to return for the daily audience he gave to his petitioners. Among the different proposals, he had to make a choice, reject the bad ones. Many proposals have come. What are the suggestions of the people they would have given to him? So he has selected the best one and rejected the other thing. He soon got rid of those who had only useless or impracticable schemes. A few of others received a better welcome, and foremost among them was a young man whose broad brow indicated a high degree of intelligence. So many things he has rejected, but which is the best one he has selected from the young boy, that is young scientist. So what the suggestion from him? Though the number of elements used to estimate at 75, it has now been reduced to 3, as no doubt you are aware. So before that the number of elements are 75. From the 75 it reduced into only 3 numbers. Perfectly, Francis replied. He was very surprised. So to say the accurate, out of 75, actually how many applications have come to him? 75. He has rejected all and he took only 3. Who? Francis. So Francis is out of 75 he has selected only 3 and all the other things he has rejected.